3,
2, 1.
Everybody's got an opinion. Every Californian and Virginian. It's so hard to tell who to trust and who to ignore. Someone's gotta settle the score. Trey and Chelsey will help you choose whose views win, which ones lose. Online haters are coming for you. Baby, it's time to review the review.
Hello.
Oh my God, a costume change during the intro occurred.
I just did a frantic costume change, like I'm doing community theater production of
Trey is
Legally Blonde.
Trey is dressed in our Karen costumes. And that's funny because the song was going on and I was doing our usual, like I usually point to Trey when it says Trey and Chelsey. And I was making a note for myself. So I looked up to point to Trey and he was gone. And I was like, what happened to Trey? And now Karen's arrived.
I pushed the theme song button. I threw my headset off. I ran off camera. I had everything preset. I had my wig.
Oh, wow.
I had these glasses on already.
The glasses, yeah, but they work.
And then I had this wig.
And he returned with the headphones on and the wig is like perfect. I mean, I'm impressed. What a great quick change.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. If you aren't a part of Patreon and watching this, then you are annoyed. So let's get into the podcast. Welcome to Review That Review. This is the podcast that is dedicated to reviewing
reviews. We're just like Siskel and Ebert, only instead of reviewing cinematic masterpieces, we rate and review those hilarious, scathing, and sometimes, we got to point it out, suspicious online reviews.
That's Chelsey Donn.
And that's Trey Gerrald.
And when we come together on this very podcast, we're
the Review Queens.
How's your week been, my RQC?
RQT, let me tell you, it's been a week. I mean, all things considered, things are good, but Goldie is like in the severe biting phase of puppyhood. And she's really, it hurts. Like she's only 14 weeks and she caused blood. I mean, I have a Band-Aid on. Look at
Chelsey,
this.
You were hiding this the whole time.
I know. I got a Band-Aid on this thumb and it's a blader and it's her fault. She doesn't mean it. I know that like it's out of love, but like it does.
Isn't it out of teething? Like they're just like biting everything because their teeth are hurting them.
I thought that too, but I feel like it's aggressive. Like it's a little, we have someone who knows someone who worked with Cesar Millan. No, the person says she works with Cesar Millan. We have her coming in a couple weeks to help out. So hopefully she can help me with this. I have to be the pack leader. That's what she said. That if I'm not the pack leader, then she's going to be the pack leader because one of us has got to be the pack leader. So I think I'm not leading enough. And so she's getting aggressive.
I did learn this trick on Cesar Millan where you push them down and until they lay down submissively, not aggressive. You're not
right. You're not
them.
You're squishing them.
You're suggesting them down.
Sure.
And you stay there until you feel their entire body submit. And it's just an exercise in practice. I got it from Cesar Millan.
Did it work?
Yeah. Sometimes like if Winnie's really in a mood, I'll do it every now and then. It does make me feel a little like
the problem is half the time I can't even catch her. She's so fast.
She's close to the ground.
Yeah, I mean anyway, that's what's happening over here in my week. What's happening in your week, Trey?
We I mentioned on last week that my husband and I were taking our nephew to Six Flags.
That's right.
And we went. It was really fun. We went on a Thursday. Didn't totally plan it perfectly because it was a record high for the hottest day so far. So it was like I think it was like 97 degrees, but it felt like 106. Like that's what the app said. And so
did you bring those like spritz fan things? Those help.
I was like, oh, I wish I had one of those, literally. Yeah. And then when we were leaving, the sun was already down. I saw they were selling them at one of the stores.
Of course they were.
I know. Yeah. Also some like father was walking by and he had one of those full on like hat umbrellas. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And I was like, I mean, I'm literally like, I would wear that without any shame.
Right.
Like, give it to me. But we had a lot of fun. And I thought of the podcast because our nephew is my husband's oldest sister's child.
Sure.
And I mentioned that because they are all full-blood Jews. And so for whatever reason, this was not a holiday. It was just a Thursday. But a bunch of the observant Jews were out where they ask you, are you Jewish? You Jewish? You Jewish?
Oh, because the holidays.
They want to wrap the tefillin around you.
Yes, exactly.
So there were so many of them in the park. And so, we were solicited about 4 times. That's not an exaggeration. We said yes to the first one, but they just kept asking, different hordes of them. But it was funny because 2 of the times they like made eye contact with David. And then the other 2, they made eye contact with me. But when they would look into my face, they would say, are any of you guys Jewish? But when they looked at David, they would say, are you Jewish? Which is just funny because I don't look Jewish at all.
So he's like, you look like you're like amongst a group of Jews, but you yourself appear to not be. That's never happened to me. That's never happened to me outside of, but that's never happened to me outside of like, I remember on, I want to say, was it 6th Avenue, like Chelsey area by that Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh yeah, on 20th.
Yeah, there was like a little like Hasidic truck or something, and they would try and get you to like, I don't know, shake the I'm such a bad Jew.
Yeah, they strap the little like box to your head and they wrap the
this is less that. This is more about like the holiday. Anyway, point is I've never had that happen to me when I've been at a Six Flags or like an amusement park.
Yeah, we were sort of curious, like how like was Six Flags allowing it, but it was also sort of fun, So I took video, and Denver, our nephew, actually has not had a bar mitzvah, and so they were very sweet and were like, "This is your bar mitzvah," and they did a hora,
Stop,
really? You know how I feel about horas.
I do know how you feel.
But since I was thoroughly unincluded, which was perfectly happy and great for me,
sure,
I don't need to be included. Like most of 90% of life, I don't need to be included. So I got to like take the video, and it was really cute, and it was definitely a memorable, fun experience. And then we had a blast. We had a total blast at Six Flags, and it was really fun.
Wow. It was not so like what started as a day at Six Flags ended up being a Six Flags bar mitzvah. Wow.
And you know what? And it was not like your Sesame Place review. This was a full-on rockin' time.
Wow. Well, that's kind of amazing when you think about it that way.
I'm going to wear this Karen outfit the whole episode. I hope you realize.
I mean, I was prepared for it.
Okay, good.
I'm here for
Karens, should we read or talk about some of our complaints?
I think we probably should. I'm happy to start or not.
Let me say that over. Speaking of Karens, Chelsey, would you like to
lodge a complaint?
Thank you. I thought you'd never ask. Thank you so much. I want to lodge a complaint today. I want to lodge a complaint today against itchy clothing tags.
Oh my God.
It's out of control. Like sometimes you have you got like a new clothing item and you put it on and you're like, seems like that might be kind of itchy, and you don't really follow through with that instinct. And then the entire day is ruined. Like the entire day, I feel like a bear that wants to scratch his back against a tree, and then my whole day is ruined. So I don't understand. Like we have fit models that try on the clothes to assure that the size is correct. Why can't we have fit models to assure that your tag is not itchy? Because there's nothing that will ruin my day. Well, there's probably other things, but one of the things that annoys my day more than anything else is unexpectedly being attacked by an itchy clothing tag. What do you think?
I mean, that is so accurate. You would think that the fit models, they would, if that's all about measuring, they would be able to measure a tag. I do like how some of these clothing companies just like print on the interior fabric.
Yeah. Yeah, that, or even usually like one of the tags on the side of the clothing item as opposed to like right behind the neck.
Yeah, isn't that weird how the side seam isn't as itchy as like right in the square of your back?
But the square of the back, it's just like terrible, terrible, terrible. Anyway, complaint lodged.
Great complaint.
Thank you.
One of those like little annoyances that I think most people understand.
Exactly. What about you, Trey? Do you have a complaint to lodge?
I'm really between two, and I'm not sure which one I want to do today, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna eeny meeny miny mo.
Oh, do it. Go for it, please.
Of course, I landed in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna do. Okay, today I would like to lodge a complaint against tears running down your face when you're trying to squirt an eye drop.
Tears running down your face when you're trying to squirt an eye, because you have to keep your eye open, and it's like your eye tears.
Okay, you know, like when you were like, "Oh, I need to put in eye drops."
Yes.
And you lean back and you like squirt, and then it's like I blink a lot, like to like make sure it covers all of my eye, and then it just starts pouring down my face. It's like,
what a waste.
Well, it bothers me that like I'm putting so much attention into squirting directly past my eyelashes into my eyeball, and then you put your face back up and it instantly just like smears down your face. It makes me so annoyed. Have you ever encountered this? Am I doing eye drops wrong?
No. Here's the deal. Something you should know about me. I've been like very blessed, knock on all the wood. I've always had like good vision. I've never had contacts. I can't even do it. Like, I admire you. I can't even put in eye drops. I try. I can't keep my eye open. It's like a natural response that my eye just wants to close when I don't trust myself. I don't know what it is, but like getting an eye drop even in the close vicinity of the eye, that's a major victory for me. So,
I mean, I wonder if there's like I guess I have a fear that if I don't squirt enough of the liquid, it's not gonna because I use eye drops like if I want the whites of my eyes to look whiter. That's literally the only time I ever do it. So if it's ever when I have to be on camera,
sure.
So in those circumstances, I'm very much paying attention to looking my best. So it's really obnoxious that like it just instantly wets my face. It's so obnoxious, and it's just one of those annoyances. My mic just fell.
It's just one of those.
It's just one of those annoyances that like you always have to like deal with, and I never think about it until the moment it's happening.
I get that.
That is my complaint. I'm lodging it. Oh, fish.
I'm hearing you, and I'm so sorry you've had to deal with this for so long, and hopefully gravity will change. Like, I don't know. I don't know how we fix the problem.
I don't either, but
that's the thing.
It's fine. I don't want to have red eyes.
Yeah. So this is what we have to do. We make sacrifices for beauty. What can we say? Okay. Trey is having problems with his mic. If you're watching on Patreon, you get to see this entire charade. His mic has now completely fallen off the stand. We are re-screwing it in as we speak.
It's just
watching Trey as Karen screwing in his mic.
I think but I can't face like that.
Babe, what are we gonna do? I feel like is this
I think I might just have to hold the mic.
Oh, what a Shonda. Can we like, I don't know. Can you put something behind it to like, you know what I mean? Push up against it.
What if,
Is that a comb? What is that?
Oh, I wish if I had a paper clip.
Oh my God. MacGyver Karen over here is trying to figure out how to fix them.
Or a binder clip.
Or a binder clip, because you could take it apart. Yeah. This is a travesty. How could you record a podcast without a mic?
I used to have packing tape up here until my husband used it.
Oh, well, I think that was a dig at David. Oh, we're taping now. That's an interesting technique.
This is just a side note, but one time we were going down his parents' like staircase and I was wearing socks, so it was a little slippery.
Yeah.
So I like fell, like I slid and fell. I was fine. But like I instantly like fell and just like turned around and like looked at him like he had done it. Isn't that so weird?
It's not that weird. Brene Brown has this thing in her book. I can't remember which one. I love them all. And she talks about how like different people react to like circumstances of vulnerability or whatever you want to call it in different ways. And like some people fall into the blamer category. And she told this whole story about how she didn't get a lot of sleep because her husband kept her up because he was doing this underwater water polo thing. And so she was waiting up for him and she needed to get up early. So she had 2 cups of coffee instead of having 1 cup of coffee. And then on the second cup of coffee, she like dropped the mug and the coffee got over her. And her immediate like gut reaction was like, damn you, Steve, which is the name of her husband. And so she told the story to be like, yeah, like she's the person that when something goes wrong or like, because now obviously her brain is like, I'm going to be late and they're going to think all this, like instead of experiencing whatever that is, it's like, damn you, other person.
Look, me and Brene.
You and Brene.
Trey.
Yeah, Trey and Brene. Can you imagine if we could get Brene on the show?
Sorry, Chelsey, I have to tell you, you're being replaced by Brene Brown.
I'm not being replaced. I could never be replaced, but I would be like open to inducting Brene as like an official review queen and bringing her on whenever she wanted to grace us with her presence because she is a queen for sure.
Oh, def. All right.
Yes.
All this
anyway.
is being cut. Okay.
Maybe not. Patreon.
All right. So thanks for listening to my complaint about my I don't want to say privilege. Thank you for listening to my complaint. All right.
Anytime.
I am like in full Karen regalia. So should we jump into some fabulous online reviews?
I think it only makes sense. Let's do it. Do I have more things to say? Oh, wait. Sorry. Can you lead me in again?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, so enough about all of that. Let's us stop complaining and let's us start queening. How would you feel, Chelsey, about jumping into some written online reviews?
I would love that. I mean, I'm here for it. So anyway, as you know, we are your trusty review queens. We each bring in a review from the internet that we feel needs to be inspected.
We read you the review, we break it down, and we rate and review the impact. What? We read you I was like staring at the tape and then I like missed my cue. And I tried to play it off and you didn't make a face. So I was like, oh, I'm winning. Okay. And then I messed up. We read you the review, we break it down, and then we each rate the impact of the review on a scale from 1 to 5 crowns. This is a very regal process that we have coined called
Assess That Kvetch.
And kvetch, like the Tavellan rappers know, means complaint.
I'm kvelling, Trey. So good. I award you all the points as a Jew. All right. Who is first today?
You are my RQC.
Oh my God, I am. Here we go.
Review that review.
Oy, Lisa.
Oy, Lisa. I do remember that. I'm also having Oy, Lisa, who put the Honolulu top 10 things to do in Honolulu. She listed the Ross in Virginia. Oy, Lisa.
It's my go-to now.
All right. We might have do we have a new Oy, Lisa today? Maybe. Let's see. Okay. I'm having a lot of trouble clicking on things because of my thumb injury because of Goldie. So I just want to let you know. All right. Here we go.
Wait, so are you a Brene Brown? Are you blaming Goldie?
I mean, it's just a literal fact because it hurts when I like push down on the mouse now.
These digits, you cannot play with these digits.
You can't play with the digits unless you're going to get some cryotherapy. Am I right? How many references can we work into our own episodes? I don't know. God. Anyway, I have a review today for the Getty Villa. It is from TripAdvisor. It's a 1-dot review. It was written by 94ACB. 94ACB. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm like a bingo caller. Okay, so this is 94ACB's opinion of the Getty Villa. I visited with 2 other young women, and we were absolutely horrified by how the parking and security guards treated us. Rather than helping us to enter properly, since it is for some still unknown reason impossible to walk into the grounds on foot, they simply yelled at us and laughed maliciously at our discomfort. Some other visitors saved us by offering a ride into the grounds. The art is fine and the gardens are decent, although I did find the villa pretty tacky. But none of that made our truly scarring interactions with the guards worth it. They yelled at us again on the way out when we tried to figure out where to have our Uber rescue us from no signage about it, yet you can't have them pick you up near the parking garage. I really don't understand how they found a collection of staff with so much hostility. Wondering if they train them to be cruel so they don't have to deal with crowded spaces on the grounds? Good luck if you decide to go. Maybe book an appointment with your therapist for the day after.
What is the Getty Villa?
Okay. I'm so glad you asked. So there's the Getty Museum, the big Getty Museum. I don't know if you were there when you came to LA, but it's in like the hills of, I think it's like the hills of Brentwood, Bel Air kind of. And then this is another property that's also affiliated with the Getty Museum. And it's right on the PCH in Malibu. And it's more like it's beautiful. There's like lush outdoor grounds and there's sculptures, and antiquities is really the specialty of the Getty Villa.
It looks so stunning.
It's beautiful and it is free, but they are very strict about, I know just because I've been there, they're very strict about their rules. Like you have to pay for parking. You don't have to pay to get there, but you have to show them your appointment and you have to pay the $12 parking fee to park there. And then everything else is free unless obviously you're like buying something at the gift shop or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I see even here the Getty guide is free on the app.
Yeah. Like it's like it's a free thing, but this is the, whatever, you got to park there. So what was interesting in looking through the negative reviews, everybody, including 94 ACB, if they had an issue, it was about getting into the place by foot. Or I guess maybe by Uber, like maybe the Uber dropped them off the bottom or something, but like if you approach that gate by foot, like it's a problem. Yeah.
When was the review written?
This review was written in 2017.
Because I wonder if there are signs for Uber now. Like now I feel like even the airports have Uber signs, but did they in 2017?
Like 2017 was a little premature for like the full Uber signage? Maybe.
I don't know. And so like,
but people could have taken taxis, I guess, before. Like there could have at least been a sign like taxi area or like pickup area or something.
So, all right. So this review is really interesting to me because 94 ACB says that it's tacky.
She does. She does.
Like, isn't the whole point? Like I'm looking at the website.
Yeah.
And the villa, like it literally looks like when we went to Italy and like toured.
Yeah.
Like it's stunning. So
it's beautiful.
So I'm just looking at the website.
Yeah.
So I'm this is like, okay, would I want to go here? And it looks amazing. Like, I understand if it's not your taste, but wouldn't you have an idea of what you're about to witness? So then it's just funny that they then say it's tacky after having a bad experience. But
I know what was interesting. They said the art is fine and the gardens are decent, although I did find the villa pretty tacky. I'm just trying to think in my head, like, is the villa a separate area that they think is tacky, or they're just saying like they're abbreviating Getty Villa, like they found the whole experience pretty tacky? I mean, it's a little gauche, I guess, but it's a museum.
It's literally Greek and Roman antiquities housed in a recreated Roman country home.
Correct.
What?
The tacky comment was like a little strange. I think maybe we could have used like synonyms to try and get closer to what it is we wanted to say. Cause I just feel like tacky.
I would like a little.
Tacky to me is like cheap. right?
Well, I'm
like,
Southern, so tacky has a whole different connotation.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Well, we call people, well, not me, but like tacky is a way to describe like lower class people. Like, oh, she's so tacky.
Oh, interesting. I think maybe I've heard it used that way, but yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think we could have used a different word. This person is 94 ACB is from Philadelphia. That means anything.
I wonder if they have had shabby pretzels.
Oh, well, they not Shappy pretzels. Well, not unless they've come to LA because it's right. Shappy is only
but isn't
LA.
This in LA?
True. Yes, but this was 2017 and Shappy pretzels was created in 2020. But good catch.
Right. All right. So
anyway, moving right along to 94 ACB.
Well, I just have a question here because it makes me curious.
Yeah.
Why you can't just walk in, why you have to be let in via car. I wonder like what the purpose and reason is behind that. Because I do think that this is, I think it's valuable to know that you're gonna have to be dropped off via a vehicle.
That it's gonna drive like onto the grounds and you're gonna pay $12 whether or not that vehicle is gonna like turn around or not. Like that's what's like.
And I
confusing.
understand like paying for parking is always so obnoxious, but when you're in Los Angeles, a lot of places are paid to park,
right?
So like,
and the museum is free. So like that's how I always think about it. It's like, okay, I'm paying $12, but like if there's like 3 of us in the car, that's like $4 a person to go to a museum.
I'm sort of thrown here because I think that like the point is that they were like harassed because imagine having to deal like if there is this rule that you cannot enter unless you're in a vehicle.
Yeah.
If you work security, like you're the one that's face to face with having to deal with this obnoxious rule that I've never heard of anywhere else. So like the patience level of having to deal with everyone being upset about that when you're just an employee, that must be very upsetting. So it's valuable to me to like know that ahead of time. But I'm confused because it's one of those cases where you feel accosted and upset. And so then you just throw other things under the bus. Like it was tacky.
Right, like the Spa Castle thing where it was like,
exactly
and
what
there was feces on the wall, and you're like, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I mean, I don't know. To me, I think that a park for $12 parking is totally fine. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But I
think that it's more like I think what's happening to 94 ACB, which I know we're supposed to just consider this review, but what I saw was the trend as well, is like, we're not planning on this, right? Like we wouldn't know. It's if you go on the website, it doesn't say anything about not being able to walk there. It doesn't say that at all. So I think like and you do have to sign up ahead of time. So like I've gone on the website, I've signed up, I received my email confirmation. I'm walking up to the gates, excited to go to this museum. And the first thing that I encounter is someone that is how I feel like harassing me about not allowing me to walk on the grounds or like all, it's just an uncomfortable situation to be coming into.
I mean, I'm just looking at the web. It's gorgeous. Like it looks so stunning, but 94 ACB found it tacky.
Well, she was saying that it was a scarring experience. I wonder, like, if 94 ACB I don't know if they're just like very sensitive and this was very triggering for them, which is quite possible. I mean, I have like problems with people yelling at me or telling me that I've done something wrong. And so I can understand, like, I can empathize with that feeling of like, I got in trouble as soon as I arrived at this thing. And it's like, just like a crappy feeling.
It's like a damper on the experience. What is their spelling and grammar like?
Spelling and grammar is good. We used parentheses. I kind of like, we use parentheses quite a bit. One time we ended a sentence on a parenthesis, which I thought was kind of strange, but just because like usually it's like parentheses is adding information and then we're finishing our point. If we're being like very, very picky here. But other than that, I'd say this was a well thought out review by 94 ACB. I think she probably reread it a few times to make sure. I did feel like she took us on a bit of a journey. Like in the beginning, it was just like we were complaining and then we were insulting a little. And then like when we came out, we were recommending that people, book a therapy session for the day after visiting something, which should be like a cathartic experience.
Yeah. What do you think about that joke?
I appreciated the effort, at least. I would imagine that 94 ACB probably did book a sesh with the therapist after this. So they were trying to give us a little something, just to further demonstrate their passion, I guess, through humor.
I mean, I think I can crown this.
Am I ready to crown? I think I'm ready to crown. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Yes.
All right. So Chelsey and I each have our own set of 1 to 5 crown cards. In an effort to be fair and not influenced by one another, we will simultaneously reveal our rating.
Let's do it.
The queens are tabulating.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Total score.
Okay. Yeah. So Trey's holding up 2 crowns and I'm holding up 2.5 crowns. Trey, why did you give 94 ACB 2 crowns?
Wait, now I feel like I want to change it.
Don't change it. Go with your gut.
Well, to me, I just think that I actually think that I think this review is valuable. I think that it's truthful. I believe that this was their experience. And I think it's a common experience people can. So that makes me think maybe I should have rated it higher. But the impact to me makes me feel like 94 ACB took it too personally. And I wasn't there. I don't know how they were accosted by the security twice. I don't know what that experience was like. But to me, I just feel like you're going to this free museum. Yeah. I don't know. That's why I feel like maybe I should have rated it higher, but it's not humorous. I would never hang this on my fridge. I think it's sort of maybe I should have rated it higher. They did better spelling.
They had good spelling. I mean, I'll just say why I did 2.5. I did 2.5 for all the reasons that you've said previously. Yeah. The reason why I took away 2.5 is because I thought we didn't really talk much about the museum itself. We didn't talk much about what can I expect to see here. You just said it was tacky and you sort of skirted around that they're beautiful grounds, but we know even just from looking at the picture, it's stunning. And I feel like a true review queen gives credit where credit is due. And I will be more keen to rate someone higher if they're going to say to me, listen, this place is stunning. The views are incredible. You're on the PCH, you're right on the beach. It was great. That being said, and I wanted to love it. That being said, XYZ, but because we sort of skirted around the beauty of the grounds and that I thought we're a little biased, we're a little emotional. And that was why I gave it 2.5.
Fair.
Right.
All right, my queen. Good job. That was a funny review. Now I want to go there. I want to go to the Getty Villa in a car. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll have to be sure to take a car there. 1000%.
All right, so let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we can get into my review.
Love it. BRB.
Hold your crown. We'll be right back.
All right, it is game time. Chelsey, are you ready to get strapped in on a ferocious lion on the Meryl-Go-Round?
I don't feel like an icon. Most of the days I feel like I can't. That's with an A.
I love that I'm a lion. Thank you. Can you be a bear? But we just need a tiger. Maybe we can have Meryl be the tiger. Anyway.
Oh, I meant to say tiger.
No, we have lions and tigers and bears.
I know, but in my head, I was thinking tiger, but I said lion.
Nobody's going to know the difference. I promise. Anyway, guys, here's the deal. If you've been listening, you already know, but Trey and I have each picked a rotten, scathing, pithy 1-star zinger. And with 30 seconds on the clock, not a second more, we'll take turns trying to recite the zinger in as many genres as possible.
Just like Queen Meryl, who does it all.
Before the clock runs out.
So the reason I was going to say tiger, but somehow said lion, is because today my 1-star zinger is from Amazon.com.
Okay.
And this is for Pepsi soda, the 7.5 ounce mini cans 10 pack.
Okay.
This review is written by Sister Jean.
Oh, Sister Jean.
I don't know if that means they're a nun, I guess. Can nuns have Pepsi?
I think so.
And
we got to give them something.
So this 1-star zinger is the subject is grrr. And the review is eye case was dented and I have to use a screwdriver to open cans. Grrr.
Wow, Sister
Jean.
Sister Jean. Good thing you had a screwdriver on hand, or else you might not have been able to enjoy your Pepsi.
Grrr.
All right, Trey. Are you ready?
Let me think for.
You got this.
Yeah,
I'm going to try and do a shuffle because I feel like you always say you get the same ones.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm channeling my inner Sister Jean, and I am ready, strapped in on my bear.
All right, strap in.
3, 2, 1, go!
Game show.
Eye case was dented, and I have to use a screwdriver to open cans. Grrr.
Yankee.
Eye case was dented, and I have to use a screwdriver to open cans. Gah.
Lifetime.
Eye case was dented, and I have to use a screwdriver to open cans. Grr.
Opera diva.
Eye case was dented, and I have to use a screwdriver to open cans. Grr. Wow, I really got stomped on the Yankee.
See, that happened to me a few episodes ago. Isn't it like crazy when you could do it, you've done it a million times, but it just like doesn't want to come out?
My mouth was fighting me.
That's what happened. That was what happened to me after I did the Southern and I couldn't do the Yankee. So now I'm glad that you did that because now at least I know you understand my pain. Anyway, should I give you Opera Diva? What do you think, audience?
Please.
All right, I'll give you Opera Diva. All right, so we got 4 for Trey.
That is a scary feeling when like the clock is just running and like I like couldn't rise to the occasion. That was really scary.
I know. Isn't it terrible? Don't you feel like you should apologize to Meryl? You don't have to. It's okay. She doesn't care. She says processing is clunky.
Meryl, this is me before Yale Drama School.
Yeah, exactly. She knows process is clunky.
All right. So Chelsey,
yes.
What is your 1-star zinger today?
Okay, my 1-star zinger is from Ben A. It is a 1-star review on Google for the Hollywood sign. And it says, I liked it better when it Hollyweed. Do you know what that's referencing?
Yeah, the prank.
Yeah, I liked it better when it Hollyweed. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, this thumb is really getting in the way. I need to make it smaller and I can't.
In case the listeners don't know, there were some people that broke into the Hollywood sign and they defaced the O's to be E's. And so it said Hollyweed.
Yes. So this Ben A liked it better when it Hollyweed.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you on your lion?
I am strapped into my lion tiger liger.
Here we go.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go!
True crime documentary.
I like it better when it Hollyweed.
Breaking news.
I like it better when it Hollyweed.
WWE.
I like it better when it Hollyweed.
Superhero.
I like it better when it Hollyweed.
Disney.
I like it better when it Hollyweed.
Adult film.
I like it better when it's Halloween.
God, slapstick.
I like it better when it's Halloween. That's all.
I mean, I have to give that to you because you gave me mine. 2, 4, 6, 7.
Woo! 7. It's exciting.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I thought weed slowed you down, but girl, it made you go fast.
Just made me go faster. Love it.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. Thank you.
Review that review.
All right. We are back from that game break, and it's your turn, Trey. Where is your review from this week?
All right. So today I have a review from the website Better Business Bureau.
Oh, BBB.
BBB. And this is for the Mexican restaurant Qdoba.
Is that the chain?
Yes, it's like a Chipotle, but it's
Yeah.
Qdoba. Qdoba Mexican Grill. And it's under the headquarters for Qdoba. So I don't know where it is.
Okay.
But it's in the United States of America.
Sure.
This is a 1-star review from Joe P.
Joe B. Joe P.
Do not go to this store. The manager, Charlotte, hates her job. Upon arriving, she seemed irritated. She asked me what I wanted, and I ordered the protein bowl. I believe the protein bowl has double beans and double meat, but she gave me 1 scoop beans and 2 scoops of chicken. When it came to the salsa, she lost it. She reached to the salsa verde, and I don't like the salsa verde. I wanted the habanero instead. And she said she couldn't do it because it would screw up her inventory. I told her I wanted cheese, and she said she couldn't do it. I told her I ordered the bowl several times before with no issues, and she said she couldn't do it. I told her I'll pay the difference. When she put 1 scoop of habanero in the bowl, I asked her for any second. She sighed hard. Then I asked for the cheese, and she put a super tiny amount in the bowl, and I told her more cheese. At this point, she was irritated, and so was I. So I told her, if I'm paying for this, I want it done right. She lost it and slammed my bowl down and said out loud, quote, "Will someone else help this asshole?" and walked away. I was appalled and shocked. So when I paid for the ticket, I told the other lady I wanted the district manager's number. When she didn't know it, she went in the back to tell her manager and heard them talk about me. She came back and said they didn't know it. I told them I knew they did, and they didn't want to give it. I asked for it again. The manager came out and said to call the corporate office, and if I didn't leave, she was going to call cops on me for trespassing. I reached out to Qdoba online 3 times, and I've yet to hear back. My suggestion, don't go to this store. 9 exclamation marks.
Wow. That was unacceptable, in my opinion, Joe P. That was unacceptable.
Isn't that like an odd? I can't okay. I have, this always comes up with this preface, but I've worked as a waiter before.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine being so done that you actually use
call them an asshole.
Yeah, that just really is so shocking to me.
I mean, that's where it took a turn. I was trying to understand, trying to be understanding of full size. But then when the asshole thing came out, I was just like, wait a minute, this is not, even if it was let me get somebody else to help you. I feel like maybe we're not communicating clearly or something like that. But
well, see, that's the problem with these sort of Subway, Blaze Pizza, Chipotle, Qdoba, these sort of processional line things is they're going to charge you more for sour cream,
everything, everything.
But who's actually monitoring that? So I just feel like this is a hard job to have like where you're scooping. And I feel like everyone always wants more. But this is the store manager, Charollett, spelled Charollet.
Wait. Spell that again. I'm sorry, what? I was going to ask for the spelling. So I wrote down spelling question mark.
Charollet. Charollett. I don't know if it's a misspelling or not. It's capitalized.
Interesting.
So like for the manager to be that annoyed.
Yeah, I just think the whole thing was weird. Like from the get, I was kind of like, maybe this isn't weird, but I was like, oh, how'd they know it was the manager that was, like making the bowl?
That's a good question. And then maybe it's on the tag.
Yeah. And then I was like, maybe with because the inventory comment, like I've worked in jobs where like they keep a very close eye on the inventory. And so I was like, like maybe Charollett like just got in trouble because her inventory was off. And so she was being like,
it does sound like that.
Yeah. Like she just had, was slapped on the wrist for over serving or whatever it was. And like, they're not meeting the numbers that they're supposed to be meeting. And so that's why she was sort of being so strict. I liked when, Joe said like that it was at the salsa that she lost it. Like
when it came to the salsa, she lost.
Like when she lost it. Like it was like I don't know what he meant by that exactly, but what I imagined he meant by that was like he was maybe on her side or maybe willing to like be like, all right, this is gonna be okay. But then when the salsa incident happened, that was like the line in the sand.
It's interesting to me because Joe P mentions that they have ordered this bowl many times.
Yeah.
But then says that they believe the protein bowl is 2 scoops of beans and 2 scoops of meat. So it's sort of like, well, I would hope that, if you're going to have this, if this issue occurs, you would write this review armed with, per the website, it comes with these things. Because just saying I believe, maybe they're being sarcastic and saying I believe it comes this way, knowing that it does. But because I don't know the ingredients, it does make, I wish that I was told definitively what it is, because it sounds like Joe is telling us that they left out a scoop, and then there was this issue with the salsa. It was the wrong one, and then it wasn't enough, and then they wanted cheese, and it was like a tiny little morsel of cheese, and then
I was confused about the whole cheese and then like the salsa comment, because I feel like Joe teed it up and then played it out in a weird way. Like he teed it up, like he asked for the salsa, and it was like no, like he had a line that he repeated, like she said she couldn't do it. She said she couldn't do it, right? So it was like, I wanted the different salsa. She said she couldn't do it. I wanted the cheese. She said she couldn't do it.
Correct.
But then later he says like, I asked for the second salsa and she like put a minuscule amount. And like, I asked for the cheese and she put a minuscule amount. So it's like, what happened in between her just saying she couldn't do it and her giving him a minuscule amount?
Yeah, it's odd to me because also I feel like at any of these processional line things, it's like a mound of cheese. Like to lose it, like to slam the bowl down when we're like heated back and forth, and then the cheese broke the camel's back. Like I feel like maybe Charollett was being a little like paybacky by like putting a tiny little a little pepper dash of cheese. And, Joe was like, are you serious? And then Charollett lost it. But also, what do you think is, do you think that they are unaware of how to provide this angry customer with the regional manager, the corporate office? Like,
oh, hell no.
They obviously know it.
They definitely have it. They're just like, if you're going to narc on us, like the least you can do is Google it. If you're which I gotta say, like, I like get it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, am I gonna make it easier for you to narc on me? Like, no. Also, like when you're coming at me like that. I don't know. It's like I always fall on both
when
sides
you're
of this.
Kid and your parents are like, tell your father what you said before. It's
right.
Like, I'm not gonna
no. You, like whatever version of it that you remember is the version that we're gonna bring to court today. Yeah, no, so that was funny to me. But The other thing is that I've been thinking about as we've been reading this review is I'm wondering how many people go to Better Business Bureau to read the reviews, like, especially in a situation like this. Like maybe if it was like there was a rat in my food or something, then it's like, oh hell no, I'm never eating there again. But like for these type of complaints, it does feel like this review should live more on like a Yelp than a BBB. Also, like we've discussed before with other restaurants and things like this, it's, I would imagine, a franchise.
Yep.
So each one I would think is run very independent from the other. So writing it, like you said, just on a broad, Better Business Bureau, Qdoba overall, isn't going to really address the issue of this individual store. Like maybe if the franchisee was of the store in Maine or whatever, looked at their Yelp reviews to help their business, and they saw that Charollett was maybe acting in a way that he wouldn't want people representing his business to act, then he could actually do something. He could intervene. He could, put her on probation or, monitor her more closely or something. Like he could do something about it. But I wonder how much control corporate even has over something like this when it comes to a franchise. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm so grateful that you brought that up, and I want to circle back to that, but I do want to, it is interesting because in preparing for this episode, I couldn't find what store it is because you search Qdoba and it just gives you all of them in the nation.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Also, I'm sorry, but I found this really funny when they said that like if he didn't leave, that they were gonna call the cops for trespassing. Can you trespass assuming that you don't have a whatchamacallit, restraining order? No, can you trespass at a restaurant where you're buying something?
I think so, because what if someone won't leave? Isn't that trespassing?
I guess.
Like if people are like standing around outside smoking.
That's loitering.
Oh, you're right. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I wonder what the distinction is.
Right. Loitering, I think, that makes sense. Like you're overstaying your welcome and you're not using the space for the purpose that it was
I didn't even think about that. I just totally, if they had said that to me, I would have been like, oh shit. Like,
maybe they just said it because they thought it would. But
I didn't even question. Like, of course. Can you? I don't know.
My sister's a lawyer. I think about these things. I'm like, is trespassing the appropriate crime being committed here? I don't know. Maybe it is. Could be. I didn't go to law school.
I will say there are a few spelling grammar issues here and there. I'm curious about Charollett, but we can just give them that one.
Right.
But it says she reached to vary the salsa verde.
I heard that. I was very confused.
Right. And then
I was Verde confused.
And there's some like there it's not, I don't know that they did a spell check.
For sure not. All right. I think I have enough information. What do you think?
Me too. Let's crown it.
Okay.
The queens are tabulating.
Are you ready?
I think so. It's gonna, okay. Let's do it.
Total score.
Are you lifting? Oh, interesting. Trey is holding up 1.5 and I'm holding up 2.5. I guess I'll start because you started last time. I did 2.5 because I thought like it did seem like the manager was truly Charlotte, whatever you want to say, was giving Joe a bit of a hard time. The asshole comment was way out of line. And for that reason alone, I think that Joe has a right to, be upset about that. So that's where he got the 2.5. I know it's a 2.5 kind of day for me. He lost it for me in the narrative. I mean, I don't really understand the whole, like she said she couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden she's giving a sprinkle thing, where that came from. And I also don't think that this is a really effective review and that the people that are reading it are probably already going there to complain. So he's not really warning anybody that might be going to this Qdoba that they should avoid Charollett at all costs. So that's why I gave it 2.5. How about you, Trey?
So I started at 2 and then I went down to 1.5 at the very end. Only because there are many reviews on Better Business Bureau that say store location XYZ, store number 12 blah, blah, blah. And got it. Joe P did not bother with that, which okay, whatever. But it does sort of cause an issue where I can't. It becomes a little is it unvaluable? It becomes irrelevant.
Invaluable? Irrelevant, yeah.
Because I can't place where the store manager is. I do, and there are lots of like spelling problems, and a little bit of the narrative got lost. Like I wish that Joe P had done a little pass of editing just to sort of make sure the points were clear. And also my whole spiel about what is in a protein bowl would have helped.
Right. But it seemed like to me, maybe even they were given too much before, hence the inventory problem. Maybe, I don't know.
Good point.
Right.
But I just sort of felt that, like, you know, I want to give Joe P some credit because they did say, I'll pay more. So please just do what I'm wanting here. But also at the end of the day, you know, it's like you're at a concession line restaurant. So like, I don't know. I just feel like pick your battles. But if I was called an asshole at a store, I would probably go to Better Business Bureaus as well. Like I would actually.
Yeah, I think it's messed up.
So that's why I did 1.5.
There's a reply.
Oh my God, there's a reply from who? The district manager?
So I'm so glad that you brought up the whole point before because Qdoba Mexican Grill has a response. They say, hi, blank. They do. It's 3 asterisks, but we can see that the reviewer's name is Joe.
Okay.
I don't know. Hi, asterisk. Thanks for your review and feedback. We want all of our guests to have a great experience. And it sounds like we missed the mark, which is the opening 2 sentences to every reply. Just FYI.
Sure. Yes.
This kind of behavior is definitely concerning to hear. I know you eventually spoke with our customer care team as well as the regional manager. So I'm glad to know that everything was resolved. Thanks again for letting us know, ! So I wasn't even going to read this until you brought up the point.
Yeah.
It is interesting because if this is a licensed franchise, at
the end of the day, who is like responsible or who is the person to deal with this?
And this reply is 10 days later. Exactly. So, but I'm curious, maybe the, corporate office saw this on Better Business and figured it out and was like, you need to contact this, this is our brand.
Maybe,
who knows?
Yeah.
But I just thought that really impacted my score. Your whole point about like, okay, but like this probably should be a complaint on a different
platform.
Because it is sort of, or at least list the store number, location, give some clarifying information about what the store is.
Yes, because there's no way that you could expect the same experience to happen at every Qdoba across the nation.
Right. I hope not.
Wow. Okay. I feel like I need to like smudge myself and get all the energy off. That was great though.
The next time I'm in LA, when I go to the Getty Villa Museum, I will not be stopping at a Qdoba because I don't want to be verbally accosted twice in a row.
Yeah, no. Who can handle that? That's just too much.
Lordy. Yes. All right, my queen. We have reached the most regal portion of our show. My Chelsey darling, my RQC, who are you inducting today for?
My Royal Highness.
I'm so glad you asked, Trey. I was thinking about this for a while. I think I'm going to go ahead and give my Royal Highness to all of the medical professionals out there who have been on this roller coaster of a pandemic with us. I can't even believe we're at this place again where, cases are rising and you're being asked to step up. And they've just stepped up so much on all of our behalfs for so long now. And they're the first ones that have to deal with the real ramifications of what's happening. So I don't think we say it enough. Thank you to everyone from the, top surgeon to the nurse and the person that checks you in when you go to the ER and everybody in between who's, showing up for us because we still desperately, desperately need you. And I'm so grateful. So to all of you, you are my Royal Highness this week.
I had to take my Karen wig off for that because just truly, there's so much our nation owes a debt of gratitude to all of the medical profession right now.
Indeed.
Oh, good job. That's a good one.
Thank you. How about you, Trey? Who are you going to induct this week?
Okay. So this week I am inducting for my Royal Highness a podcast friend.
Okay.
So there is a podcast. It is called Seriously Sinister, a true petty crime podcast. So this is a podcast that I forget how exactly I got in connection with them, but they currently at the time of recording this have released 22 or 24 episodes. So they're just ahead of us a couple of months. But when we started our whole push online, they were so outrageously supportive. They listened to all of our trailers. They were DMing us. They were joining all of it. It's just, once again, I feel very touched by all of these podcasters who don't feel threatened or feel like there's not enough space for everyone. I really have been finding such the opposite experience. And that is just so amazing. And Amanda and Trevin, who are the hosts of Seriously Sinister, absolutely fall into that line. So their show is like a true crime podcast, but the little spin here is that they're little petty crimes. But Trevin is this genius musical editing composer person. So they find these hilarious stories, and then Trevin does tons of post-production on them. So it sounds so heightened, so overly emotional. But this recent episode, it's the guys that tried to break in they broke into a taco shop in Las Vegas. And so then the company actually took the video footage and made a commercial.
Oh,
they
wow.
used it against them because the guy
he
throws the rock wrong and then it bounces off and doesn't do anything. So then they go in the back, but they totally spun the footage to be come here and get tacos like these three thieves were trying to do. They really wanted our tacos. It's really funny.
That's funny.
But Trevin's whole spin on that story is we all have one moment of fame, and it's we are seeking. It's just, they're really funny, creative, genius minds over there. They start similar to us. Every episode they have a dreadful dilemma, and actually, ironically, the same episode, Amanda talks about her food allergy to jalapenos and how extreme that is, but her favorite food in the world is chips and salsa, which I can totally relate to. They also have this really fun thing that I kind of want us to steal, Chelsey. They do.
I want to borrow.
They do borrow. They do Fur Baby Fridays on their Instagram.
Aww.
So all listeners and friends can send in pictures of their fur babies, and they will feature them on their Instagram account. So you have to check that out.
Cute.
At Seriously Sinister Podcast. And I think it's going to air prior to this episode because of scheduling reasons. But Chelsey and I are going to be featured on their podcast, telling a true petty crime story that occurred to me and Chelsey.
It's true.
Anyway, love the podcast, love Amanda and Trevin, and I really would highly suggest checking them out, giving them a subscribe, and leaving them some reviews because they're doing lots of post-production work over there, which is, sometimes very tedious, but they're really good at it. So my Royal Highness this week is Seriously Sinister, a true petty crime podcast.
I love that. So great.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, Chelsey.
Yeah.
Here we are. Isn't that amazing? We're reaching the very
Listener voicemail.
There's a voicemail?
Surprise, Chelsey.
Oh my God. I never know when there's a voicemail, you guys, just so you know. I'm always truly surprised.
So this is interesting along the lines of your Royal Highness. Today, we have a voicemail from listener James, and I just have to take a moment to say we are recording this before James has heard that he was one of our winners of the raffle.
Oh my God. Really earning that pin and pen with this voicemail.
And coffee mug.
Above him. And oh my God. Oh, he doesn't know that yet. That's a surprise.
Yes. All right. So here's James's voicemail.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hey guys, my name is James, and I just wanted to give a shout out to the cleaning staff at the gym where I work. I work at a fancy New York City chain of gyms, and during COVID in particular, the things that these folks were asked to do were huge. I teach group fitness. We make a sweaty mess with mats and weights and all that stuff, and they have to come in and totally sanitize it so that it's safe and healthy for the next room, for the next class, and they have to do it quickly, and they're always just have the best attitude and are the nicest people. So I just wanted to give them a shout out. Thanks, y'all. Love the work you do. Bye.
Oh, love the work you do. So nice.
So James has chosen to not say what the gym is, so I'm going to respect that. But I was once a member of this gym, and it's a very expensive gym. And I always noticed in the past, the cleaning staff, they do not cut corners. They are constantly vacuuming, like throughout the shift. It's like, this place is cleaner than, like, I don't know, the Taj Mahal. Is that clean? I don't know. But like,
I would think so.
But I just thought that it was amazing. James is a group fitness instructor and wanted to shout out the cleaning staff. Think about that. Nice. That's a very underthanked position. These like sanitation workers during this pandemic, like, wow.
So true. And like I love that he's acknowledging like he doesn't get to do it. He does, you know, if they don't do their part, and how big of a role that plays. And that is true, because for so long we weren't even able to go into gyms at all.
Right.
And now that we're going back, somebody's got to keep everybody safe, and it's the cleaning staff.
I mean, literally, you're the one getting rid of the germs. Like, that's actually scary.
It is.
Well, you know, I think that does sort of tie it around to this whole world of reviews. You know, it's just like if we all were considerate and conscious of the other people that we affect in our lives, like it would be maybe a much more beautiful place. Maybe it's Charollett could learn a little something from the sanitation workers.
Yeah, rather than calling people assholes.
But you still can counter the assholes. How do you do this yin and yang of life? I don't know.
That's what we ponder every week here. We meet people on one of the worst days of their life when they're writing these 1-star reviews.
That's very true. Well, my queen, you have made today a much better day.
Aww.
And all of you listeners as well, thank you for joining us for yet another round on the Ferris wheel of Review That Review.
I love that. Another round in the books. Thank you guys for joining us today. If you like what you heard, please tell a friend.
And if you didn't like what you heard, please tell Charollett. If you want to be like James, hit up our voicemail box, 1-850-REVIEW-0. You can leave us a review that you found, or you can lodge a complaint, or like James, you can induct someone for My Royal Highness.
Yeah, you can also follow us on all the socials at The Review Queens. I'm Chelsey BD.
And I'm at Trey Gerrald with 2 R's. You can always become a member of our royal court when you join our Patreon at patreon.com/reviewthatreview. You can also watch free clips of every episode recording on YouTube.
It's true. And remember, please ignore the haters. You're a queen.
Gender non-specific queen.
Duh. Bye.
Toodaloo.
See you later.
Meow.
You're supposed to say alligator.
Oh, crocodile.
That Review is an independent.
In a while, crocodile.
Names have been redacted or changed to protect the guilty. Executive produced by Trey Gerrald and Chelsey Donn, with editing and sound design by Trey Gerrald. With voiceover talents by Eva Kaminsky. Our cover art was designed by LogoVora, and our theme song was written by Joe Kinosian and sung by Natalie Weiss.
Oh, Karen.
Bye.
Karen, get out of here.
Oh my God, it's a Karen.